Well, I think as there was one report coming from a newspaper called Etemad in Tehran, citing her lawyer, and it actually looks slightly bittersweet in the sense that he is saying that the Iranian authorities have confirmed she's completed her 5-year sentence and she's currently at her parents' home on a ankle tag, and that ankle tag will be released because that sentence is complete. But the bitter side of the sweet announcement is that they are also saying she will have to return to the Iranian Revolutionary Court later this month, in about a week's time. And she will face a second charge, which is concerning propaganda activities against the Iranian authorities. Now, that second sentence has been hanging around as a possibility for virtually 2 to 3 years, and certainly having spoken in the past to Richard Ratcliffe, her husband, he feels there's no new evidence or in that second charge, and he doesn't understand why it's being pressed in this way. So the lawyer finally is saying he's very confident that she will not be prosecuted for a second time, or she'll be released. But I feel that all this is as much wrapped up in international diplomacy as it is in terms of justice in Iran.
Well, quite. It strikes me too that there's a gap here between being freed or having this sentence formally end, and I think it's next Sunday, as you've said, when she's being summoned to court.
Yeah. Who
is she the prisoner of in this week?
Well, the ankle tag comes off. I mean, she would need her, so she would, and I think she's something like 300 meters. She's only allowed to go from her parents' home in Tehran before the ankle tag sort of sends off an alarm in Tehran police station. So that would come off. She'd be free to move around Iran. But the issue is she going to be given a passport to leave? And I would have thought not, because they're going to say, no, you're facing a second charge. She'll be out on bail of some sort, but she will not be allowed to leave the country.
And in the diplomacy that's going to be going on behind the scenes to bring her back, how much do you think that her release or what happens to her is connected in any way to the decisions around re-entering the Iran nuclear agreement that Donald Trump pulled out of and that Joe Biden wants to see up and running again, as does Britain, France and Germany?
Sure. No, I mean, I think my view is the Iranians take a very transactional view of taking people hostage and then try to get something in return. And you just look through the history of the last 5 years, that is what they do. So there's two real issues at hand, really. There's a specific bilateral issue which the UK has, that it owes £400 million to the Iranians arising out of an arms export deal from 40 years ago. And second is the broader issue of is America going to lift sanctions against Iran and go back into the nuclear deal? And as I suspect you know, there's a huge sort of debate going on between Iran and the Americans about the terms on which they could start negotiating on that issue. And there's been a lot of push and pull over the last few weeks. So those two things are hanging over her. And I think she's really a victim of that, or a pawn, whatever words you wish to use, for that wider argument. I should say that the Foreign Office stressed there's no link between the money and her detention, but I just personally don't believe that.